Good evening, friends. Welcome to another Friday Night Live here, the first Friday in April. We are so very glad to have you join us here this evening. And we've got a great show for you tonight. We've got two guests that have previously been on the show, but that doesn't mean that they don't have interesting things to tell us, and we don't have interesting things to ask of them. But as always, I am joined by the Page crew. I've got Jen with me this evening, Jen Cash of the Blind Bard. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Phil. How are you?
I'm good. I'm taking a little vacay with the wife and kid up here in the Finger Lakes in New York, which we like to come to pretty often. So, I'm sleeping in. I'm eating a lot of food and enjoying the wineries.
Did somebody wake you up yesterday?
Yeah. There's this jerk that called me as I was lounging in bed at 8:47 a.m. His first name starts with R and ends with N. And
I wonder who that is.
Yeah, and started busting my chops about how he had been on the road since 4 a.m. for some work trip to Virginia. And how dare I lounge and enjoy myself.
Well, I had the day off today. I took Good Friday as a holiday, and I have Easter Monday off too. So nice 4-day weekend for me.
There you go.
Nice.
Very nice. Fantastic. All right. Well, nothing like to put a little spring in your step.
Yep.
Do you see what I did there? Spring in your step, and it's spring.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to see if somebody picked up on the joke because
I did.
I thought it was pretty witty.
Have you seen what's going on off of the in coastal New Jersey?
Is this a Henry Winkler joke?
That's a Fonzie scheme.
Yeah, no, I know that one.
Did you? But have you been reading how these killer whales have been attacking boats?
No, I missed that.
They're attacking boats with regularity. And they went to the Marine Mammal Stranding Center in Brigantine trying to figure out what's going on. And they said they believe it's part of an organized crime epidemic. Organized crime epidemic.
Where do you get these from, Ron?
What are you talking about?
Jokes.
This was CNN. This is CNN, you know. Must be true.
I think our two special guests they already left the call. I think they didn't even stick around after that. They can't be privy to such.
I think you put them to sleep, Ron.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So we got some people in chat already. Ed Lopez. I was just in PetSmart and a nice young lady checking us out pointed to my shirt and said, "Hey, my dad brought me home a Phil E. cheesesteak plushie in January." Interesting.
Yeah. So, and we only had so many of them to sell, so it's a pretty limited item. I don't even think we sold all of them. We still have a couple left.
We still do.
Yeah. So whoever that dad was, I mean, that's a very limited.
This is why I've been in love with artist Lisa Ann Lake for the past 35 years.
That's a whale of a joke. That's why. Yeah.
Yes. You know, I've been secretly pining for her for 35 years.
Yeah. The thing is, I think orcas actually are technically dolphins, aren't they? Or are they whales?
I think they're whales.
They're whales.
Okay.
Listen, stick to Pennsylvania Dutch stuff.
Are orcas whales or dolphins? We have to Google this now. You know, yeah, everybody wants to know.
All right. Well, in the interim, I'm going to bring on somebody else from who's living in PA now.
Those are technically dolphins. Orcas are technically dolphins, it says. Okay.
No, it
Sorry
doesn't.
to burst anybody's bubble out there.
Stop that.
You learn something new every
Michael in
day.
chat backs me up.
Orcas, dolphins. Orca or killer whale is a toothed whale. Oh, largest member of the oceanic dolphin family. Okay, well, I guess I'm proven wrong.
Mark this on the calendar, folks. April 3rd, 2026. Ron Meisker admits that he's wrong.
Circle it in red.
John, save me. Save me, John.
Organized crime. I was waiting for a Sopranos lead in there somewhere with the whales and this was prime. So I saw Lisanne and Fuzzy pop in, and Ari's out there. How are you guys doing? So thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, John. We appreciate you coming on. What's going on in Fox and Boar land?
All kinds of stuff. So, I mean, obviously, I think the elephant in the room is the Shadow West Kickstarter, and we are in fact working on the last bits of that. Really, I'm just waiting for a really good proof from drive-through of the hardback. This has been very a little tedious. I've been working with drive-through RPG for a number of years now, and it's been great. And they've been very slow getting particularly hardback proofs, and each one has had something wrong with it. So this last time I got on with their customer support, and I said, guys, I really need to get a proof of this finished. I said, this is what needs to be done. They assured me they're going to fix it and send me a new proof, and it should be on the way soon. So hopefully that's going to be rolling out. That's been the big priority, is getting all that done. If you follow any of the social media at Fox and Boar Games on all major platforms, or the web page where I send the newsletter from, you can sign up for the newsletter. Crooked Tail Crafts from Providence, who I saw in February at TotalCon, gave me a good amount of the physical fulfillment goodies, like the dice, the coasters, the stickers. Everything looks amazing. So that's almost done. I mean, everything's just really in the final stages. So my plan is that whether it's going to be beforehand, once I get a proof and I can start getting stuff out to the backers, or at Concoction will be the retail debut of the final version of Shadow West. So that's been the big thing. I've been playing. I've played that on and off. Working on a new Call of Cthulhu scenario to release, or modern horror with a Miskatonic University version up on their website. Gone Squatchin'. It's a modern Sasquatch investigation with a Cthulhu's Mythos twist, which I ran it once at Game Day last year, and it was quite entertaining. Those are the main things that have been going on in my world. So it's really, the main focus has really just been getting everybody everything they've already purchased or backed or all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I loved the Shadow West game
thrilled.
that you played at Page. It was
awesome.
It
was that all the sessions were a lot of fun. That session was particularly a lot of fun. It was the perfect group to have a total party kill with, honestly. Everybody took it so well, and they thought it was so funny and so fun, and they didn't mind a player blowing them up, in the mine, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I ran that, and I ran another scenario, one of the other scenarios from Saggy's at TotalCon, and I'll be running it again at Concoction, and I'm assuming at Page. And it's been really well received. I am continue to be thrilled that people play it and they get really interested in it. And even if they're not big Shadow Dark players, and they just sat down to play a different kind of game, they want to try a Western game or whatever, a Western horror. I recently got a very good review from Dungeons and Dyslexia, and he called it a supernatural Western, which I thought was an interesting description of it. He didn't quite call it horror; he called it a supernatural Western, which I thought was pretty cool. I actually like that that description.
Very good.
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Phil, where is Pete Flagg's other hand in this photo?
Wouldn't you like to know? I assume, I don't remember, this was only about 30 minutes ago that I took this picture. Behind my back, I guess. I don't know.
I think I see it. I think I see it peeking around there. You zoom in.
All right. Jen, do you have any questions for John?
What was the most challenging thing about creating the Shadowworks game and the Kickstarter?
So the most challenging thing about it was contextualizing the core nature of Shadow Dark, which is essentially a dungeon crawl, right? Really? It's more of an overlay, well, not even overland, a setting that inherently, one, you know the setting already, right? Like the Our Old West is Our Old West, and guaranteed there's a lot of unexplored places and territories. But it's not like, for the most part, you're diving into this dungeon that no one's ever been in, unless you go into a mine or a cave or something, and still finding a way to capture the feel of Shadow Dark and the tension of it, and changing it to like this totally different environment. And I think that was the most fun of it. And I really enjoyed tackling that and executing it. So far, I think from what I've heard from players, it works.
I think so.
Fuzzy on the details says he's looking forward to going squat.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Watching a concoction.
All right. I'll be looking forward to that. I got to hang with Fuzzy last Saturday. Went to see a concert. That was a lot of fun. First time I got to hang out with him socially in quite a while. Sam played it at Oddbird. Yeah, so I've gone squatching at Fox and Boar Games. Gone squatching is in the end writing early revision stages. It was mostly written before game day last year. And I just had to really organize it so that other people could read it. I had all the notes. What do I use instead of torches? So you use lanterns. I mean, that's kind of so you use oil lamps. There are electric lanterns were not quite available yet. There were some very big, bulky ones if you had electricity, but nothing was really battery powered and portable. And we do still use the torch timer. There's also the bleak. If you're not familiar with the game, there is an event called the bleak, a supernatural darkness that invades the land periodically. So that forces you to use it even in outdoor or town environments. And of course, lanterns and light spells too. And Lysana, of course, is the artist. Lysana is the artist for Shadow West and one of the early play testers, and gave a lot of input and feedback as I was designing it. She has a long history with Western and Deadlands and all that stuff, and art for all these settings. So, but there have been a couple really good suggestions that if I didn't feel that I wanted to use a darkness timer, other kinds of stress timers that I could implement. Adrenaline timers, horde timers, basically, without talking about it too much before I try it out. Some event that is going on in the game, in the world, that if the timer conditions are not met before it runs out, that there's some kind of horde the party has to deal with. And I actually play around with this a little bit in the Wanted Man scenario. I don't know if anyone's watching. I think I've only run it at one convention. And I ran it with my core group. But there is a mechanism in there where they have to deal with a lot of something. And it's on a timed basis. So if they don't get to certain places before the timer runs out, they have to deal with a horde. And they have to deal with the waves of the horde. So I'm playing around with that too. That's an exercise. Beyond Gone Squatching, which I hope to have written up by the end of May or by the end of April, and then get it into production for May and hopefully released maybe midsummer. I don't know if it'll be ready for Concoction. It'd be nice. I'm going to be running it at Concoction, but hopefully I'll have copies of it there. If not, then I will. It will be out. So How Foolish Was Deadlands? So I really enjoyed Deadlands. I played Deadlands. I like the environment and the feel of Deadlands, but I really intentionally did not want to make it Deadlands for Shadow Dark. I was very careful to stay away from concepts like the Harrowed, like the Ghost Rock. There is something that could be seen as similar, but the origins of it are not the same. It's a meteoric war that happens during these supernatural darkness, these bleak events, and people have figured out how to use this for magic. It's really to enhance magic, but of course it also does other things. Some of which are desirable, some of which are not. So there was definitely a hard timer. Yeah, that should be interesting. I'm excited to see how that's going to go too. We'll find out, I guess. But so there was definitely, and it's funny because I actually, as a couple people, Dave Lapp's watching, he was privy to the conversation. Sam was privy. We had a conversation with Shane early on, Shane of Deadlands, and trying to make sure that there was not this sense of overlap. He was mostly concerned about the art, but that I wasn't using any of the characters from Deadlands. I said no. I said this is anything you see right now that I used from Lasanne's back catalog is purely placeholder. We're doing all original art for this, all new characters. And I really had to assure him this is not Deadlands. This is not a clone of Deadlands for Shadow Dark. There's really very little relationship to the setting. The characters have been all modeled off of your Shadow Dark core classes, and some variations of things like an Entertainer is your bard, Skycaller is your warlock-like character. And that was entirely organic to the setting and to the concept. It was not like, oh, I'm going to take pieces of Deadlands. But as far as a player, I played a beta of Deadlands back at Gen Con with Shane in the early 90s. So clearly I've always had an interest in the genre, in the horror Western or supernatural Western. More of an influence, I think, was Down Darker Trails Call of Cthulhu, because I actually had been running a campaign of that and events at cons set in the Old West for Call of Cthulhu. So I think in a way that might have influenced it a little bit more. Just the whole vibe, the whole dark and creepy vibe. So Boot Hill. So this game started after a Shadow Dark session at Page in Page 2. I believe we were in Page 2, and we had just played Shadow Dark. James Uraki ran it, and Wesley Allen was in it, and a few other of the big name guests at Page were playing it. And Dan Sandin was playing with me, and I just happened to say, like, man, the thing about Shadow Dark is it's so quick, it's so raw, it's so dark. It's kind of bare bones. Like, it reminds me in a way of that old Boot Hill game. Wouldn't it be cool to have Boot Hill with Shadow Dark elements? And the table was like, oh, that sounds awesome. So that night, that 2 day, or maybe or a couple days later, after we got home from Page 2, I went on the Shadow Dark forums and I just said, would anybody be interested in this setting? That's kind of this vibe of Boot Hill, this vibe of, obviously some relevance to other horror westerns like Deadlands or like, Call of Cthulhu, only using the Shadow Dark system. And within about an hour, I had about 80 responses of people who were very enthusiastic about it. And what's funny is because I just released Book of Shadows, which is just a little supplement book for Shadow Dark that I did. The black and white version with the goblin statue on the front, not the other Book of Shadows there too. But when I said someone had said to me, are you going to be doing more Shadow Dark content? I was like, no, I think I'm going to go and just work on some of my own stuff. And then clearly after the response I got, I thought, well, I guess I'm going to be writing Shadow West for the next year. So that's what I did. That's what I did. And in fact, the first proofs were sent in shortly before Page this year. And Boot Hill was definitely, the vibe of it was definitely an inspiration, in that it was this kind of raw, gritty Western. So I definitely did take from that my background of it a little bit.
So what's next for you?
I also looked at Red Dead Redemption. I didn't play it a lot, but I've looked at it. But so what's next? After Gone Watching, there's going to be a new Trash Sexy supplement coming out for Halloween. It's going to be the spooky, trashy, sexy supplement that has been whispered about for the last year or so that I haven't buckled down. So as soon as I have Gone Squatching written, I'm going to start getting I think I'm going to call it Trash Sexy Goths and Graveyards supplement. trying to get it out right before Halloween, and it's going to have a new skid. Big spoiler, it's going to be Goth Raccoons. And then I'm also going to have a new location, which is going to be either a haunted house, cemetery, or a combination of that. And then some supplementary rules for these characters. And I think it will be a lot of fun. So that's going to be, I'm going light this year because the past several years have been like constant production and constant writing, which I'm grateful to be able to do even part-time. But I think this year I'm just going to really focus on 2 products, finish the completion of Shadow West first, get these 2 products out. If I have any time left, I'm going to start on the next Saggy's Dime Store novel or the Skycaller's Handbook, one of the 2, which will have more information about the Bleak, Skycallers, Ornex-powered machinery, basically all that kind of extended weirdness in Shadow West that comes from the Bleak and the Ornex and those sorts of events that I haven't really gotten to touch on in the core bundle.
Very good.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
All right. We're gonna bring our second guest on now. And John's still going to be here for the rest of the show, so we'll be able to shoot questions off of him. But our next guest is our auction guru at Page, and as well as the preeminent dice expert in the hobby, Daniel Lawrence. Oh, there he is.
I got to tell you, I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that there's going to be a supplement for trash.
Here it comes, man. Here's this. I know you were legendary. Your role playing in my first session of Page was legendary. So
I tell people all the time it's one of my favorite games that I've played at a con because it's straight to action. It's straight to silly. There's no premise of are we going to be heroic here? No, we're going to be stupid raccoons, and
that's the whole point. Yep.
And, 3 minutes in, you're wild. So hearing that my moonshiner raccoon make it to Halloween costume,
legendary. He's been regaled in the tales of raccoon kind over the years.
So that's good. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right.
All right. So, Jen, what questions do you have for Daniel tonight?
What did you think of Page 3? What was your favorite moment?
Ooh, I think, I was very busy at 3 with auction. Auction was heavy this year. But I think there were a couple of minutes with Frank Mincer and Jamie and Amanda Brasovsky where we were talking about some of the things that were being auctioned or some of the things that were being done for the community that were really pretty deep and personal and really pretty powerful. And then secondarily, we had the DICE event. We had quite a few people at the DICE history event and quite a few people at the DICE exchange event that came in specifically because they wanted to hang out with people that they knew from the DICE community. So it was really pretty awesome to get a chance to meet some of those people in person finally when you've mailed them 10 and 15 packages over the last 2 years to actually shake their hands and meet them face to face. So those were great. I did really, really enjoy Ron's Tomb of the Ancient Moor King. I got to play that with Ron DMing, and it was great because his pre-gen characters gave you prompts to play particular style for your character. He gave you character guidance, and then at the end of that session, everybody kind of gave feedback on just how much you embraced that, and I thought that was a lovely addition. So that was great. Lots of good times this year.
Yeah, I agree. I had a wonderful time at Page.
Yeah, it's always a great show. You know what I mean? I do see Michael and Amanda in chat. How y'all doing, guys?
The beard groweth.
The beard groweth. Yeah, it does that. I got to trim it every once in a while.
Amanda, I thought I was your favorite person.
You might have been until you killed your wife in D&D tonight, and
Listen, Daniel, you and I need
repercussions.
Daniel, you and I need to face facts. We know Jay Scott's now her favorite person.
Well,
Oh,
could
Ron,
be.
you got to
Could
go
be.
easy on Jen. I mean, she has an injured wrist.
Hey, listen, and her dice rolls tonight were like her wrist was injured. She was rolling terrible.
Oh, don't cast the blame. That's the mistake.
That
No.
sounds like me. I always roll terrible.
Oh, that's funny.
That's a snazzy beard.
Well, thank you.
We actually have somebody in Twitch tonight said Santa called. He wants his beard back.
So as far as dice go, what's your favorite? What's your favorite die type?
Oh, I tell people this all the time. My first dice that was given to me was a set of the Mincer era dice, the ones with the long D8s. And that whole era of dice, the Holmes dice, the Mulvey dice, the Mincer dice, they are such crappy plastic. They're awful. And I love it because you play those dice for 5 years or 6 years, and by the end of the campaign, your dice look like they fought that dragon with you. Every time you roll them, they look like crap, and they've been through it with you. And I love that about them. There's just so much character. They carry so much of your story. I gotta love the Mincer dice.
That's awesome. So, like, we hear all the time about like dice having bubbles and not being weighted and stuff. So those hold up pretty well.
Yeah, the Mincer and Moldvay, that old soft plastic before they did a high impact, they really didn't carry bubbles like the newer ones did. So you might have corner chips or you might have rounding or that kind of thing, but they actually stay really random comparatively. And it's funny because Lou Zaki, excuse me, I always say his name wrong. Lou Zaki was always on about game science dice are the most precise and they're the most random. And they really, between the hard plastic dice, work on average a little bit better. But you compare them to the old crappy plastic dice, and they weren't any better.
Yep.
You know,
The
it's
first
funny.
set I ever got, I don't think they rolled well at all. Like I couldn't get a 20 out of them. They were always like
Wow.
low numbers.
Don't blame the dice now.
Lou never let the truth get in the way of a good sales pitch.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Lou had a remarkable memory. Let's put it that way.
It's the grand rogue of the RPG industry right there, of the gaming industry. So,
yeah, I tell people all the time. There's real dice historians out there. John Peterson, Peter Evans. They do the history. They do the research. They go dig up articles. They dig up everything, and they put concrete facts around dice. I'm more of like an oral historian. I collect the stories that everybody tells, and it's like, well, who decided that they wanted to use a D20 in D&D? There's about 8 different stories around that, and nobody agrees whose idea it was. But it's interesting to look at all the different accounts and understand those, and it's interesting to see which characters repeatedly show up as having different stories than everybody else, and Lou's got an interesting memory for sure. I'll say it that way.
oh boy! All right, what else?
Oh, I don't know. We've got
Phil. You have any questions?
I had to unmute myself. Sorry. I'm thinking here. I'm not a dice guy I mean, I use dice to play games, of course. But Daniel, I know when you and I were roomies for page 2, you always referred to, how did you say it? You're like, I know dice, I don't know paper.
Oh yeah, I don't know paper. I don't know pulp.
Yeah, and I'm always fascinated how the hobby itself is a niche, and then
Right.
you have niches within a niche within a niche kind of a thing. You've got your dice
Sure.
folks, you've got your minis folks, you've got your quote paper folks, and even within you'll have your zine people
Right.
and your hardback people. And I just think it's very interesting how the hobby is conducive to people finding their own little pocket, if you will, of the hobby to, kind of obsess over. But at the same time, as we step back, we're all doing the same thing to a large degree. We're all gaming. We're just
Right.
taking our own personal interest within the gaming hobby to another degree that we individually find self-satisfying. Like, Ron's a big minis guy, right? And you're a big dice guy, but I
Absolutely.
don't know what I am. I'm like a generalist.
I love dice too. I have a million dice, and I use different things for different games. Like I have like asteroid dice for space games and Fox dice for, I don't know,
for Fox and
mystery
Boar
games. Huh?
games.
No.
For
Oh,
Fox and Boar games.
See, there you go.
I mean, it could be. They were a Christmas gift.
Custom metal dice will have a few sets available at Concoction.
Yeah.
Probably.
I wish I was going.
Few metal. You're getting one, I think, from your pledge.
Well, that's an interesting question. Daniel, what is your personal feelings about metal dice?
Ooh, I've got plenty of them.
Okay.
Just literally on my desktop, I've got Baldur's Gate when they did their newest edition. I can't get it to show on camera. They
There
did
you
a custom chunk die in their Platinum Edition release. This is actually a cool one they did at MagicCon Chicago last year. If you played the D&D setting that they had that Baldwin Games did, they had a Dice of the Mirror zone for the DMs that showed up for that, and they're chrome plated heavy metal dice. They're really nice. So yeah, believe me, I've got plenty of metal dice. I feel like if you're going to play metal dice, or if you're going to play old crappy plastic dice, you really need a dice tray. Otherwise, you're going to cause problems. You know what I mean? And
You mean when Wes Allen broke one of Ron Sturge minis at Down the Dark Stairway
oh yeah,
with metal dice?
yeah.
I
As he
never played
referenced
without
in
a
the
tray.
chat. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm not. I know there are some people that are purists and don't like the metal dice. For me, the only thing I'm a purist about is D4s, the barrel shaped D4s, and I can't do it. I can't do it. Give me the Caltra.
You need the pyramid. You need the pyramid there.
Yeah, give me the Caltra. I need you to hurt me with it. I need to step on it and have it remind me that I've taken damage.
Yeah,
But,
that's definitely one dice design that I've seen change or have different variations of it is the D4. Everything else, I guess physically has to be the same design, but the D4 is that one die that you can change it up into different
Right.
shapes.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of shapes I've seen. The caster dice that are shaped like spell bottles. All of them are different shapes. I've seen. I mean, there's a whole pile of those different shapes for different environments. But no, I'm a classic polyhedral shape kind of guy. But materials, I love looking at the different materials. I got a let's see, I got a T-Rex over here T-Rex fossilized one.
Oh, I saw those advertised.
Yeah.
The dice that I'm most aware of being hot are when Arby's comes out with their dice every couple of years and they sell out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I missed both sets of those. I missed both sets of
Oh
those. And it's,
no!
you
Oh
know,
no! There's literally a dice set you don't have.
I have both sets.
yeah, yeah. I try to keep my obsession in the must complete areas of my dice collecting to be pretty thin. There's certain deep dark holes in the dice collecting community that get real very very fast. Chessex has some sets that are thousands of dollars for a set, and I can't hang. I can't play in that pond. It's too deep. You know what I mean? But anything that's licensed D&D, I love it. Anything Critical Role, I love it. Um, handouts and all those kinds of things are big for me.
Mhm.
But beyond that, everybody's got their own obsession. Even within the obsession, we're talking about paper. For me, I always played home roll games, and so I would read a module here and there. I would definitely read source books, right? But I was not the guy that had 5,000 modules. I was the guy that had 40 books and 8 modules, right? And so I'm not a paper guy. Ron pulls out something that's like this is a BZ 45. There were 12 made, and I'm like, it's a module. You fooled me. You know what I mean? But even within the dice community, there's it gets even more granular. You know what I mean? It's like the guys that love Zines and know their particular flavor of what they love, compared to the guys that love, European print modules in alternate languages. I think half of us would be lost there pretty quickly. But it's definitely interesting to share that with people, and that's one of the cool things about that dice panel that we do is we give people a little bit of the reasons we like it. We give people a little bit of the history and the cool, and share it. So
Let's
that's always
talk.
rewarding.
Let's talk Page custom dice.
Oh, yeah.
They arrived.
I did. I saw that. They're gorgeous, man.
They're
You
beautiful.
know, you know, we did a set last year, and I was like, man, these are really nice. I'm afraid that if we start doing this, the bar is going to be too high, and in 3 or 4 years, we're going to be really hurting ourselves to match what we've done in the past. Man, they're so pretty this year. They really are. So I'm excited about it. I know Amanda's in chat. She helped with that, and yeah, we've got definitely a very cool set coming. I don't know if you want to show a picture.
Yeah. Give me a moment. Keep talking.
May I show off the Shadow West dice, the medals?
Heck yeah, I'd like to see them.
With that, here's the custom Shadow West bullet dice. It's full set.
See, there's an alternate shape.
Now there are some alternate shapes. And how do they roll? I will agree. We definitely need a die tray for these. Absolutely. Because I've definitely sent them with a cat chasing them across the table once or twice. Of course, we have a full set. Now we also have a regular set of Shadow West polyhedral dice, resin polyhedral dice there. Super nice too. But I thought since we were on specialty dice, I'd just show off bullet dice, which go to the top tier Kickstarters, and there will be some sets available for concoction.
I've got
left is going to Origins. Unless
you can't really see those in the light, but I've got my trash sexy dice.
Nice, you got them. There you go. Yeah,
those stay in my dice.
Appreciate
my
that.
little my dice tray.
Yeah,
Carry that with me when I go to cons.
nice.
But yeah,
Cool.
just so pretty.
Yeah,
the color on them is so lovely.
It's like a pearly
Pearl blue.
Yeah, blue. Let's see
That's
how
a nice color.
Mhm.
they are quite nice. So, They are available for pre-order. We only bring in a limited number every year. So, if you haven't gotten yours, get them now. Pre-orders have been pretty strong so far. So, they're ready to go and they're already here. And here's a bonus. If you pre-order and they're coming to Concoction, you can pick them up at Concoction.
Cool.
Only if you pre-order. We will not have any for sale at Concoction. Like if you don't pre-order them, you don't get them. And if they run out by Page, if they're all pre-ordered, we won't have any for sale at Page. So
I will admit, I don't know how fast these have been selling on the pre-order stage, because when I pre-ordered, all of them were available. I was first in line.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure.
So I don't know how many have sold since I bought, but it gives you a count on there. You can see how quickly they're moving. Amanda just said in chat that she'll pick my my pre-order up at Concoction for me.
All right.
She's coming.
Well, I can't let her pick them up at Concoction. I don't know.
She's show her ID. I don't know where they're going to go. They might.
Well, I don't know. She might steal them.
I don't think so.
Sounds likely.
She can't be trusted anymore. She's already gone to the dark side. She's working with Lord Gasumba, and she's got torn loyalties.
So
I'll just tell her to talk to Jen.
Like you. Of course you say so. Like you.
what? Just because I'm going to EcclesiaCon, you're going too, and so is Ed and Phil.
Yeah, but I'm still going to Concoction is the point.
Yes.
And so we're Ed and Phil.
And if I could go twice in 1 month, I would. But John says we can't, so.
Well, that's, I don't know. You're the only woman I know that's not ruling the roost in her marriage, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I totally do. You have to take some and give a little bit. So
She's building political capital for some other purpose.
No, you're right. You got to give and take, and you're just going to keep taking abuse on this one. That's all.
I promise I'll try and come next year.
Amanda says she wasn't talking about picking up my Page dice. She was talking about picking up the Shadow West dice. Yes, please.
Okay.
So
yes, please.
Now Jen is resorting to
for the dice crew. There's some around. I don't think they're going to make it to Origins. I think anything left's going to be gone.
Jen's resorting to wimpy tactics now.
No,
I'll gladly give you a convention on Tuesday for another convention today.
You just need to come down and run a convention down here, Ron. That's what needs to happen.
No, it's too hot down there.
Nah.
Maybe someday. Let me know when you're ready. Let me know when you're ready to run one, and then we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
We'll call it Swamp People Con.
Oh, there you go.
Call it Banjo Con.
Whiskey Jack Con.
I don't know. We'll have to come up with a good name.
Mage, Mississippi Area Gaming Convention.
I love it.
Expo.
Yeah, we can't call it MAGA. That would be bad.
You'd
No.
end up with a different crowd down here for sure.
You get a crowd, you get an audience. You definitely get that.
Look at Wes.
It'd be a real
acting
confused
innocent
large
in the
audience
chat.
down here.
Guilty, Wes. Guilty.
That's fine.
Are you ever going to let that go?
No. I will live longer by holding these slights as fuel and spite. It will help me live longer.
Okay.
Yes.
He subscribes to the be an ornery bastard for as long as you possibly can, and that will fuel you into your 90s.
Makes sense.
Jen, it really doesn't even begin to cover how hurt I am, but
Oh, here's my violin.
Okay.
Nice. Jen, that's beautiful. When the shit gets thrown back the opposite direction is.
She can do that. That's all right.
He knows I'm kidding. And if I could come to concoction, I totally
What
would.
happened? What happened to Jen?
Oh, she got.
What happened to Jen? She's
Yeah.
gone. Jen, I
I'm
can't hear
here.
you. Wait, hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
You're funny. Did they really kick me out?
Yes, we did.
Ron did. We did not.
Okay.
We have no control. Daniel and I have no control over this environment.
Well, that's okay. He can kick me out if he wants.
There you go.
I can still hear you.
I just pre-ordered my dice because I forgot to.
All right. What questions do we have from the crowd? We've got quite a few people in chat now. Look at that. Wes Allen stops in. Here's Wes Allen. Look, he stops in, and then he's like a seagull. He comes in, he causes chaos, and then he flaps away. Flap, flap, flap.
See you later. There he goes.
There's Chet Minton, artist.
Hostile stream environment.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we did have a question in chat from James Moore. What is concoctions? Apparently, James is not familiar with concoction.
Well, go ahead. You know what, Jen? Why don't you explain to him what concoction is? You know what it is.
It's a smaller convention that Ron is using to test things for Page. So it's going to be smaller than Page, but it's actually growing quite a bit. There's going to be some special guests there. I know, John, you'll be there, and
I'll be there at the booth. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else do we have? We have Professor Dungeon Master.
Yeah, Professor Dungeon Master will be there. The
Amanda
blind bar.
will be
Oh,
there?
the blind bar. Oh, wait.
I want to be there, but I can't. I can't do more than one a month. But I'll be with you in spirit.
There you go. But yes, to ask
Grudge. Hold on. Grudge initiated.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving down the book in a dwarfen fashion.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
But James, if you're in chat still, it's I guess it's Page's sister convention in Vineland, New Jersey, the end of May, 3-day convention. You can still grab a ticket if you're interested. We'll be there. It'll be like a mini Page, RPG centered, special guests, James Itricasso, the Nerdarchy guys will be there. Professor DM will be there. If you're interested, grab a badge.
James, it's in southern New Jersey in a town called Vineland at the Vineland Convention Center.
Yes. Yeah, Vineland, New Jersey.
So, it's
outside.
Yeah, we're looking, we're looking pretty good for we're way over our expectations for badges sold. So, I don't know. We'll see. Our 40K tournament has quite a few competitors in it. So that's good. And we have a big announcement tonight about special guests at Concoction. We have added Conan the Hyborian Age RPG author Matt John to the Concoction lineup as well.
There you go.
He'll be flying in from Canada, and as many people who follow our live streams know, I think the game's absolutely awesome, and if you missed one of our guest announcements this week for Page, speaking of Conan, we're going to have Jim Zub with us, who's in charge of the Conan franchise of comic books from Heroic Signatures / Titan. He's the storyline writer and runner for that. So he's going to be there at Page as well. And I'm going to hold back a little bit because we have some more awesome Conan-ness coming to Page beyond those two. But Concoction's definitely kicked up a notch with Matt being there, and he's going to be running a lot of Conan the Hyborian Age demos and games at the convention, and talking Conan and talking game design and all that good stuff.
Now, what about the mystery guest, Ron? You said you'd give us another clue.
Do we think we're ready for another clue?
I'm ready.
I mean, nobody's even come close. I mean, you know.
And that's why you have to give us another clue.
She is from Arizona.
And
There's
she
your
has a TV show
yes.
on mainstream TV.
Yes, and a digital show on YouTube.
Huh.
I don't know, Amanda. You had to watch the program last week to get last week's clue.
Oh, don't be mean.
I'm not being mean. I'm just, I'm being thrifty with the clues. We have to drag this thing. We have to drag this thing out another 8 months. I can't just give everything away. Jen doesn't know what to say. Jen. I just totally silenced Jen. She's like, "Where do I go from here?"
We'll figure it out. Someone's going to get it eventually.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. All right. What else do we have? What other questions do we have?
Are we giving any Troller Games stuff tonight?
We are. We're going to get to that. Michael asks, who was the Conan game writer you had on the show a few weeks ago? That was Matt John.
That was a great show.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can confirm that Matt John and Jim Zub and other people from the Conan universe and other people who are special guests, maybe not from the Conan universe, will be engaged in a live play of Conan the Hyborian Age at Page on the big stage. Who runs it is going to be the question, because not only does Jim Zub run the Conan franchise through the comic books, he also runs the game and comes from an RPG background. In fact, his wife works for WotC. So, some pretty cool stuff. We've got some new blood in terms of the guests coming in this year, and we're very excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Troy Ellmans were asking in chat, are they from the guild? Troy, regarding the special guests, I think you're asking. The answer is no. Because I know why you're asking that question, and the answer is no.
We already gave a clue. We're not going to keep giving out. We're not going to keep giving out clues.
Well, I was just answering the question.
Yeah. Well, that's giving out a clue. Yeah. The clue was the silhouette of the guest. Yes. I don't even know what the guild is. What is the guild?
You should watch it. It's great. It was a web show that was on about 10 years ago about a bunch of people that are playing MMO. They're like 10-minute episodes, and it starred Felicia Day.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was thinking actually. But
Yeah,
yeah.
They're really funny.
Well, that's good. But no, that is not correct. All right, what other questions do we have? Troy Allman didn't mean to cause trouble. I don't think you caused any trouble.
No trouble caused.
Jen Cash caused trouble.
I did not.
She did. Web show made by Felicia Day. Well, there you go. I didn't, see, I'm so old school. I only remember Felicia Day from Mystery Science Theater. So
She was on that show. She was on that?
yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. Yep.
So I do have a teaser maybe for next year. I don't know if any of y'all know who Mike Blake is. We talk about silos and deep connections and that kind of thing. Mike Blake is involved in the Bristol Wargaming Society and was involved in creation of the Bristol Wargaming dice way back in the day. There's the dice that inspired, arguably, so the dice that inspired Dave Arneson to bring some back from the UK and led to the creation of D&D. Mike Blake, Peter Evan is twisting Mike Blake's arm, and we might have Mike Blake at the dice panel this coming year.
Ooh.
Chances are pretty good. Which, if you're a paper nerd, it's kind of cool, and if you're a dice nerd, it's royalty. So that's pretty special.
Yeah, my understanding is that he showed an interest, but he hasn't communicated with Jen Glazer since about it. So we'll see. That he's going to be a wheel. He's going to be a we'll see, I believe. So,
yeah. But this is just the chance. I will say that the Bristol set of dice that you've got sitting on your desk for the auction this year, this coming year, is straight from Mike Blake.
Well, that's great.
It is a pretty special set.
Well, that's good. So we're going to be happy to get them out in circulation.
For sure.
All right. Jen Glazer is scary.
Scary.
No, she's nice. Wow, silence. What is up with you people?
What, Jen Glazer? Jen Glazer's nice. I'd ask everybody to give if you got any room in your heart to give a little thought to Jen right now. She's dealing with quite a bit at home. I don't want to get into the details, but she's got some people with health issues, around her, and if you have some good vibes in your heart, send them out to Jen tonight.
Yeah, I'll keep her in my thoughts and prayers.
And of course, Chet sends some good vibes by calling her Stabby Jen.
Yeah, but he says it with love.
Chet says everything with love. He really does. There's nobody with more love in his heart and kindness in his heart that I know than Chet. He's a better man than me. Like, if, for example, Jen, he would forgive you. He already forgiven you if I was him.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
good.
but I'm not him. So
Yeah, I know you're not him. You just like to give me a hard time.
yeah,
And that's
it.
fine. I can
That's
take
it.
it.
Okay. That's good. That's good, because if you know me for the next 40 years, you're going to be hearing it every week. So it's all right.
I expect nothing less.
Yeah, of course. All right. What other questions do we have from the crowd for John and Daniel? And if you have any questions for Jen about betrayal and lack of loyalty, she's happy to field them. Awkward silence. That's what it's going to say in the subtitles on the YouTube thing. It's going to say awkward silence.
Yeah.
Not everything. Terran Empire Chet has come through the rift. Oh no. That's not good. Oh. So nothing else? No other questions?
Easy.
Michael in chat makes a guess. We're not going to confirm or deny it because we're not giving out any more clues tonight. So
I have a question for John. Are you doing any more with the cards that I purchased? Like, is there a new set of those?
So interesting you should say that. Wow. I didn't expect that to come up tonight. It's actually at this point been discontinued, the Journeys.
Oh, really?
I will not go into deep details here as to the reason for it being discontinued. It was it was mostly basically a financial issue dealing with the production cost of the cards at this time.
Oh.
There were some other things going on that I will refrain from discussing in this forum, but it was the best thing that we could do at this time to open the doors to hopefully a product later on that can expand upon the ideas within the deck. So I'm being intentionally cryptic for very specific.
That's fine. We understand.
It was just funny. This was actually the big thing this week is we pulled the deck down 2 days ago. So it was just kind of funny that you brought it up, like, oh, by the way, what's going on with that deck? Well, now that you mention it, I did send it out to the newsletter that it was going to be discontinued. So,
well, I'm glad that I have a copy of it then.
Well, it's funny because now people are writing and saying, can I get a copy of those? So there will be copies available. The contract stated that there will be copies available at in-person events to sell the remaining stock of the current version of the Journeys deck. And from that point forward, we'll see what happens. I would like to, though, because people seem to be using them and enjoying them. I would have to look into, if I were to do another card deck, I would definitely have to look into an alternate production house and production method, though, because cardboard assets have become very expensive to produce. So compared to book-based assets. So that was a big part of the issue, is that it was getting to the point that it was costing me not much less to produce them in the quantities that I could afford right now than what I would end up selling them for. And it was just a good idea that while we're at a point with the production and the other products coming in, the RPG products, to put those on hold for the moment. So, but yeah, we encourage you to keep using them, and we hope to be able to augment them with additional content in the future. And that's how I'm going to leave it for now.
Well, I'm glad it's only on hold and not.
Well, the Journeys deck, as you've seen them, are finished. They are finished. If something comes out, it will be an accessory to that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Daniel looks like the wizard over his shoulder. I actually feel like I'm looking in the mirrors because there's 3 Daniels on the screen right now.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I could use a ring for my beard.
Oh boy.
At least you're picking this guy over here, and not this guy over here. You know what
Now
I mean?
it's really interesting. I've Chet turned this into a puzzle, a 500-piece puzzle, which we'll have available at Page as well. Our resident puzzle tester is actually putting it through the motions tonight to see how difficult it is. James Moore has a question for Jen Cash.
Sure.
Jen, what is your favorite act of disloyalty that you've ever committed?
My favorite act of disloyalty? Trolling my husband. For sure. Because he trolls me all the time. So I got to give it back to him.
Are you using troll as one of those words? It's both an adjective and verb. Like, is it like the word Smurf in the Smurf vocabulary right now?
Yes.
Is troll a code word for something else in your relationship?
Oh, no.
No.
But I always tell him he needs to go back to the bridge.
Hmm.
And he says, "Oh no, I live on the internet."
Oh, well, there you go.
But he will seriously joke around with me every chance he gets. So I have to give it back to him.
Speaking of,
Here was just a little view of my AD&D game tonight. This is my wife Jennifer's look at me when the Tyrannosaurus Rex killed her character tonight.
I was going exactly there with favorite acts of disloyalty, and you killing Jen's character in the game tonight.
You reminded me.
I'm guessing
I did kill John's character one time. I didn't mean to.
I'm guessing that's why Jen had a free moment or two to start working on that puzzle. Is that how that happened?
She got started a little.
I waited to see a shoe come from off screen and hit Ron upside the head.
Salt of the wound. Salt of the wound.
Chet Mitten is absolutely evil. That's all I'm going to say. Apps 100% evil.
I don't believe it.
Oh,
prove it to me. Because from what I've seen,
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
He's he's not evil.
I can't. No, I won't do it.
Okay.
I won't do it.
I have my
Then I can't believe you.
Okay, then don't believe me. That's fine. He knows it. Look at him. He's laughing diabolically in the chat. Lisa Ann Lake asks if I'm sleeping in the bathtub tonight. Maybe. Oh, Phil just gave somebody he just gave somebody this.
The kid, because she's trying to download an app on her phone so she can watch a movie with her boyfriend.
Watch it. Is her boyfriend on vacation with you?
No, but they like to watch movies together online.
Oh, that's sweet.
I bet she'd never kill his character in a campaign.
Hold on, I'm going to unmute Phil so we can hear the words of wisdom he's giving his daughter right now. There's There's a little daddy-daughter beatdown going on over there. You already said he was the nicest guy you know. You know what, Ed? Based on something I read tonight, I believe you might be the nicest guy I know now, Ed. And Chet, I have no words. I have no words to describe the levels of Chet's evilness tonight.
How can you say that, Ron, when he helped you produce Tomb of the Ancient Moor King? How was that evil?
Okay. All right, Jen. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. So that's okay.
I'll find out eventually. I always do.
Oh, ask him. Maybe he'll
will.
tell you.
At Rising Phoenix.
Oh, he says he learned by watching me. That's right.
That's where he gets it from then.
Hold on one second.
Strong mid-'80s callback. Learned it from watching you, Dad.
That was my vision.
I show those.
You've learned well, my young Padawan.
I showed that in class that I learned it by watching you, those PSAs, those drug PSAs.
This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. No?
Yeah, I show them in school sometimes because they don't believe me that they were my students don't believe me that they were actually on TV. They're like, come on, like that's not a real thing. Like,
What,
okay.
What, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah, that or the one that guy's like, like who taught you how to do this stuff? I learned it by watching you. All right.
Oh yeah, we were watching a movie earlier, and somebody's like, "Only you," and I'm like, "Can prevent forest fires." Because yeah, that was a thing.
Can you sing the Smokey the Bear song?
Oh, I can't. I don't remember it.
Smokey the Bear, Smokey the Bear. You don't remember that?
No, but I do remember Take a Bite Out of Crime.
That's McGruff the crime dog.
Yep.
It's a far cry from Smokey the Bear.
Anyone under the age of 40 has
No
completely
clue
just
about.
No.
Well, they just left. They've stopped watching. They're like, this is just old people talking about old people stuff.
Hey, we're allowed.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. What else do we have? Any other questions? Chet says he's a Chet-eye Knight. A Chet-eye Knight.
That's
not
awesome.
a Padawan.
Yeah. He's trying to one up the organized crime. He's
organized crime.
Yeah, he's trying to one up that, I think.
I've got some dirt. I have some dirt on Chet. I have some photographic dirt on Chet.
All right.
Be careful, Mike. Be careful, Ron. He'll use force move on you.
Force move? Oh, well, you think so?
Yeah.
I'll just grab a cat and threaten a cat. And then Chet won't know what to do. He'll like, no, don't hurt the kitty. But organized crime. That's right. That's right.
That was the winner. He's going to try to top that. That's what I think is going on.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's Amanda rubbing in our faces again how young she is. Not true. I'm solidly under 40 and understand every reference that was just made. Did you see, Daniel, did you see when Amanda was on the program last?
I believe I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was recently, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. Force push on my tummy. And I'll make the poppin' fresh noise. You know, Poppin' Fresh is there, Jen Cash.
I do.
How about Amanda? Amanda, do you know who Poppin' Fresh is? I'm 20 and understand not a single reference that was made. I don't know who that is. Baku Gasha Krishna Ma something. I don't know. That's too long a username. Shrink your username. All right. Daniel, any
Yes, sir.
new things that are coming this year for the auction?
Ooh, I know that we have that set of Bristols from Mike Blake. I have a good line on another set of creatives. Those are always very hot and very hard to find. Um, Beyond that, it's a little bit early. I usually try to start. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I try to start early with those because of how hard they are to get a hold of for the really rare stuff. Um, I'll continue working on it. I'll continue working on it. I had someone incredibly brave about a week and a half ago. I think that's about the right time. About a week and a half ago, I sent them a creative D20 like the one you just showed that was inked on half the faces.
Mm-hmm.
And he used a magic eraser and it cleaned it, which is terrifying to me, but apparently it worked great. So anybody out there who's brave and has an old Holmes dice and they don't want it half the faces colored, you might give that one a try.
There's a question, and I'll let Daniel answer this. Those are different from Holmes dice?
Yeah. So originally, when they were putting D&D together, they only had two available D20s that were well, there were three really. They had JSA's, Japanese Standards Association, which just did D20s. They had Bristol Wargaming Society, which only did D20s in pairs. And then there was a company that was an educational catalog supply company out of California called Creative Publications. And so during the wood grain box era, the guys at TSR would actually buy Creative Publications dice in the bags, staple a label on them, and put them on hangers and sell them alongside the wood grain box as TSR dice. So the very first dice that were sold by TSI were purely repacks, and they came from Creative Publications. Now, what they did when they started printing the Holmes box, because they were paying through the nose to buy them at full retail and then resell them, is they actually went around Creative Publications and went to the Taiwanese manufacturer and said, "Hey, can you make us these dice?" And the manufacturer said, "Well, I can't make you exactly the same dice because Creative Publications owns those dice, but we can make you some that are pretty close." And they made basically the same molds. The molds are very, very slightly different, and they have a orange six instead of a pink six. From a value perspective, a set of very clean Creative Publications dice is between $1,200 and $1,800.
Wow.
And a home set of dice is between $80 and $120 if it's open. So remarkably different because of availability and because of age. But they do look quite a bit alike. You end up having to pull calipers out and measure them sometimes to determine which are which.
Yeah, the eight siders are definitely different sizes. Like
Yeah,
I showed you
they're
that before. There's a
yeah,
visible difference in
yeah.
size.
They're all between half a millimeter and 3/4 of a millimeter larger face to face. Of course, the D4 is a little bit harder to measure. I 3D print a little holder so that I can compare the sizes of the D4s, but noticeably larger for the creatives. Yeah, and the homes, you get a little bit of shrinkage, you get a little bit of warpage. The edge of the D4, famously on the Holmes dice, there's always one edge on the D4 that is not straight. Every time, even the brand new ones, it's not straight. Creatives are straight. So there's a couple of real minor differences. If you come to the dice panel next year, I'll have sets of both, and you can look at them right next to each other and compare.
Okay. He says, thank you. I didn't know.
You're welcome.
All right.
You got me right in my dice nerd. I'll talk about that all night long if you let me.
Chet says he hates shrinkage.
Well,
Story of his life. All right.
Amanda says the way every fiber of my being just halted hearing that he used a magic eraser on a creative die. I know when he told me he did that, I about vomited, but it came out fine.
Listen, magic erasers are truly magical.
It's yeah.
They are truly magical items. They will take stains out of clothing.
But why would you use one on a die so valuable?
Exactly. It's like taking a pressure washer to a Rembrandt. I'm like, yeah, what? You did who? But no. It's apparently it works fine if you're brave.
John, do you have anything you want to leave us with tonight?
Do you mind if I pimp the game day in August? Is that cool?
Sure.
Yeah. So, Ron was a GM at the previous one last June in Stockton, New Jersey, near Lambertville. That establishment, unfortunately, Oddbird Brewing couldn't accommodate us this year. But this year, we're doing a bigger one-day game con and craft beer day at Broken Goblet in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia, and it's gonna run about, if we can accommodate, about 80 to 100 people on August 9. I think Ron said he would make it a point to try to GM again. I know several other page GMs and several other familiar faces will be there, and tickets will probably start going up on sale for that May-ish. I'm thinking I have to finish getting all the branding together and get the GMs, get a form up so the GMs on tabletop events, so the GMs can enter their events, and then we'll probably get that rolling. I think it'll be fun. I don't think the long distance friends here will be able to make it, unfortunately, but
I'd love to, but
last one was really fun. Yeah, it was very relaxed. A lot of new players, which was really cool. People who had never played RPGs with other people, they'd only played them online, felt comfortable enough to come out. And Broken Goblet already does a game night there, so this will work out really well.
Well, nice.
Yeah, it'd be fun. More info on that if you stop by our webpage at foxandboargames.com and our social media at foxandboargames.
So, Ron, if you go, you have to tell us how it went.
No, I'll go.
Yeah.
Assuming I don't have a work-related thing that interferes with it, but it's Sunday, right?
Yeah, it'll be on a Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be able to go.
Great, perfect. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll be able to go. I'm not on my cruise at that time.
Great.
So
yeah, I think when I had to change the date, because the venue, I originally had a date later in the month, and the venue had another booking that day, and apparently they have multiple calendars, one for music events, one for other events, and the music guy didn't tell them there was already something planned on my first choice. But when I changed it to August 9th, I think we only lost one GM, but we picked up another one. Fuzzy, I think, said he's going to come and run some Marvel at it, so Marvel RPG. So that would be kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'll everyone know how it goes.
So we had a mortgage company just apply to be a vendor at Concoction, and they're saying they'll give away Pathfinder stuff if we let them in. I'm like, no. You want to sell Windows too while you're there?
Yeah.
All right, Daniel, you have anything you want to leave us with?
No, I'm just looking forward to Page next year. It's always such a good time. Get to hang out with people, get to play some good games, get to play some different kinds of games. I could sit at the bar at the Hilton and hang out till 2 and 3 in the morning, play some Gru like we did last year. It's always a good time.
You're brave. I'm always in bed before 12.
I'm on good behavior because I have to open up the booth in the morning. So I always make sure I keep it light at these things if I'm going to be vending and representing. But I
Yeah.
stopped at the bar for a little bit last time. It was Fuzzy. I was hanging out with Fuzzy and Dave Lapp and ran into Daniel, and that was fun.
I'm not one who runs on a lot of sleep. I think I was going to bed 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I was making it for 8 a.m. for the next morning when the doors cracked open.
I have trouble sleeping at Page. Normally because I feel so stressed, I can't
I
really
was going to say,
sleep.
got a lot going on. That's
But hopefully this year will be a little better on that front.
Yeah, you got to work out the kinks. But once you do, it'll be great. And I thought it went great last year.
delegate.
This past year.
Yeah, no, it did. It did. It went well. Phil and I had our doubts going in a little bit. There were some things that were beyond our control, but it all fell into place.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement. I know that we're looking at some of the stuff from the auction last year and what we can do to improve the remote bidding experience there. We've already talked about a couple of different things we can try that are less disruptive to the live auction. So,
How did the auction go? Did you guys do well?
Yeah, we're making some changes to the auctions moving forward. We realize we're not charging enough of a fee on consignments. And when I say that, it's because we had donations we didn't even get to that are going to carry over to Concoction and even Page next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, the auctioneer fee on consignments is going up to 22% from 10, and the buyer's premium is going to be 11%. And of course, all of those fees go directly to the charity. And then when we get donations, 100% of the sale price plus the 11% buyer's premium, so 111% of the sale price will go to the charity. So, that's what we're there to do with that auction. We're there to raise money to help some other people out. And, it's not doing us much good if we're not getting the things that we're taking in 110% or 111% in the case moving forward. If we're not taking that in so we can take in 20%, it doesn't make sense to do that unless it's an outstanding item.
Right.
The good thing is that this year we got through all our accounting with there were no hiccups, like much more organized on, after the fact. Sellers were paid out quicker.
Yeah, it was very clean this year.
Yeah. So it really, really worked out, and it's a learning process. And, our online bidding, probably we need to figure out something there so there's less lag. Yeah. But other than that, I think it was good. And Chet says growing pains. Agreed. Definitely, there were growing pains last year, and I was real transparent with that going into the convention, that the whole convention was probably going to suffer from growing pains, and it did. But I don't know if I don't think they were as evident as Phil and I feared they would be to the attendees. The attendees all seem to have a very, very good time. So that was good.
Yeah. It was very well run and fun.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to let our guests go. So thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Good to see
John,
you guys
Appreciate being
again.
on.
John, we'll get you on again before your show.
Cool. That'd be great. Thank you.
For sure.
Yeah. Perfect.
Daniel, thank you for everything you do. You've been very generous with your time and your effort for Page since day one. And
Always, man.
And
It's
I know sometimes at the convention I don't always have the time to, show the gratitude that I should, because I'm pulled in a bunch of different directions. But no, it's very, very much appreciated, and we appreciate everything you put in, and all the thought you put into everything, and the seminars you run, and the fact that I don't think everybody realizes, not only does Daniel kind of queue up the auction and head up what I think is an all-star auction team that we have between Guppy and Doug Bartholomew, but he also is like one of our tech people, helping out with some of our computer stuff. And, he's one of the unsung heroes of the convention. And thank you for everything you do, Daniel.
I appreciate that, Ron. Yeah, no. Best way to show me appreciation at the con is to come help me sort stuff at the first couple of days of auction prep. I know that's your favorite.
Listen, I don't mind doing that. I really don't. But Jen minds when I do it, because then I have a plan of what I'm going to spend money on.
Sounds like you're like John, because at one point in the convention, he says, "You should have come with me. I spent money." This is when I was doing the interview booth. He's like, "Yeah, I spent some money."
Snuck off to buy stuff. I
Yep.
snuck off and ended up buying stuff.
I kind of
All
figured
right.
that would happen. I'm
All
just
right.
as bad.
We're going to let you guys go. We're going to let John and Daniel go. Thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll see you both soon.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Oh. And some of these controls have changed. Oh, all right. That was a little too close. There was a little too much of a close up on me and Phil there.
Yeah.
Jen, you still looked good. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
All right, Phil, take us through a few things here.
Well, I think a lot of things that I was thinking about mentioning, we have already mentioned earlier in the stream. I did have a question. I saw it pop up on our Discord earlier today about concoction events. So everybody that's got a concoction badge right now, I believe, has the ability to choose events. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. So if you
the events went live about 15 minutes late.
Okay.
For the single day badge holders.
Gotcha. And that was a question I saw on Discord earlier today. So now that we know that, if you have a concoction badge, if you were thinking about getting a concoction badge, everybody has the ability now to choose events. And there are lots of really great events for you to choose. And so you should hop on in there and start picking what you want. To Ron's earlier point, we didn't think that we'd get this much traction with concoction when the idea was floated. but we are, and we're still, 8 weeks out basically, and we still have people grabbing badges. So we'll see what the final number is, but it's going to be 350, 400 plus there, maybe even more.
It's going to be more than that. Yeah.
It's going to be more than that. Well, there you go. So we'll see. We can completely accommodate those numbers at the Vineland Convention Center. It's just a little more than we thought we would originally get from an interest standpoint. But remember, that is the last weekend, well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the last week in May in Vineland, New Jersey, which, if you're unfamiliar with Vineland, New Jersey, it is in southern New Jersey. It's a mid-sized city in the Pine Barrens.
It's the largest city in terms of square miles. In terms of footprint in the state of New Jersey. It's just not really a big city. That's all.
Its corporate boundaries look big. If you look on a map and it shows you the actual borders of the city, it may look big, but from a population standpoint, it's not. It doesn't represent itself well. Regardless, you should give it. You should check it out, and you have the ability to do that. What else? We did announce a couple of additional special guests for Page this past week. And I am at a loss. What's Stephen Sullivan?
Stephen Sullivan, that's correct.
Yeah, we announced Stephen Sullivan this past week. And he's an artist, he's an author, he's a game designer. He's worked on D&D, he's worked on Star Wars, he's worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Simpsons comics, and some novels, even a film, 2017, Theseus and the Minotaur. And so Steve's been around the block. He'll be a special guest. The Legend of the Five Rings, Dragonlance. So if you want to say hi to Steve, you want to be getting your Page badge.
He doesn't go to a lot of conventions.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, but really great guy, font of knowledge of the industry. Excited he's coming to Page. He's one of the new guests that's coming this year. He's one of the treasures of the gaming industry, in my opinion. And then we announced Jim Sub this week.
Correct. Yes. Let's see what else. Hopefully you saw, if you follow us on Facebook. Hold on one second. Pardon me, I had a cough. Ron had earlier shared a pretty unique image, a one of a kind, as a matter of fact, which is the only known collaboration on a piece of artwork between Jeff D. and Darlene the artist. And so if you missed that, I don't know, Ron, if you have a quick pic of it available to you.
Yeah, I do. Stand by 1 second.
Yeah, it's a really unique piece. And like I said, those are two giants of the fantasy art world. Jeff D being one of our special guests. It's been there since year one, and Darlene was with us last year. And this is the only collaboration that they've ever worked on together in all of the years that they have been doing fantasy art. So that's pretty neat. And it looks like the image is getting uploaded right now. You can see our good friend Philly Cheesesteak there in the foreground. And
Troy, the answer is yes. You have to get your booths in there.
Yeah, booth badges. So for vendors, yeah, let us know that. I'm getting trolled by Michael in chat. What kind of high school teacher says really unique? Very unique. Maybe I should have said that. Anyway, back to the image. I think Jeff did the figures, and Philly cheesesteak, and Darlene did the calligraphy up in the scroll work, if I remember correctly. Is that right, Ron?
Yes. Jeff didn't feel comfortable doing the calligraphy. He wanted to do it via computer, which I rejected. So I asked Darlene to do that, to do this, and she did. And if you look, well, you can't really see it here, but her signature's up here in the corner, and then of course Jeff's right here. I think I might be able to. There's Darlene's signature. There's Jeff's. And there was a bit of controversy with this brought up by Chet Minton, which we're going to get into in a future episode. The little controversy brought up about this image, and we're gonna let Chet come on and argue his case. So, but all right, Jen, do you have anything before you take us out?
Only that I'm going to be at Rising Phoenix. I think it's the third week in April. And then EcclesiaCon, May 1st and 2nd. Looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm hoping there's still seats in your events, Ron, because we keep on forgetting to choose our events, so we have to get on that.
I think there's 2 seats. The last time I looked at EcclesiaCon, there were seats available, 2 seats available for my D&D event. And at Rising Phoenix, I don't know. I haven't looked in a little while.
I'll get on the computer tomorrow and find it.
I'm sure there's probably a seat or 2 left in Harefoot Jousting, which is halfling jousting on
That's
Turkey.
the minis game?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll have to check
All right.
on the others. All right. Well, listen, I got to be up early because we start playing the Walking Dead RPG at 10 a.m. tomorrow here.
Ooh.
In my newly organized game room. Ed Lopez isn't even going to be able to recognize the place when he walks in.
Nice.
So, all right. Well, take us on out, Jen.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I will see you next week, same time, same place. And Jen, if you're watching, you're in my thoughts.
Oh, there is some. Daniel Lawrence wants you to know, Jen, there are 2 seats available in my AD&D game at Concoction.
Okay. Well, I wish I could be there, but I can't. So
yeah. Have a